1984 or 1985, as we were approaching self-sufficiency, it came to my attention that these loving folks who were working out in the workshop area were really not handicapped at all. It was when they were on the street traveling to and fro that they were handicapped. When they came into our building, it was my determination to treat them as something other than handicapped. I saw them rather as very able folks. In fact, adopted the terminology as handy-capable. In '76, they began with the 4 kids, along with a modest crew of supervision, and the 4 people eventually became 10, and 10 became 19, and I remember these earmarks as I would upgrade my funding documents. I remember 19, then there were 37, and 37 became 54, 54 became 72, and along with it added supervision. When in 1986 this building came on the market, and we purchased the building of 50,000 square feet by devising a partnership, limited partners, and today we find ourselves renting the space as well as being one of the partners with a total top crew of about 185 folks this past summer. The population originally started out as mentally retarded, and we knew from the very beginning that all levels of mental retardation could not be served if we were going to be doing the job that we envisioned, one of eventual self-sufficiency. So we determined then at that time to look at ourselves as a place that could serve the moderately handicapped individual. And I was very conscious of the world of work as providing the means for a person to achieve the dignity, the pride, and the self-esteem that comes with a paycheck and that comes with paying taxes. And this is what we're all about today. A facility that is non-therapeutic in nature, one that offers a time card and a time clock to punch in and punch out, and workstations, and also full-time work. Well, I want to invite you to take a look at Opportunity. You'll be intrigued at not knowing many times who is handicapped and who is not on the floor. The folks come from all over. They come from the north side of Chicago and extend far north as North Chicago and Waukegan, west from the lake all the way out to Round Lake, Deerfield, Northbrook, Gurnee, probably a 50-mile radius. And everyone gets here on their own steam. That is one of the prerequisites of working here at Opportunity. You have to have your own transportation. We began as an organization that I think used to bill out something like $17,000 a year. I remember doing $30,000 a year. Today we're doing $2.5 million a year. The people would arrive to me as patients from a hospital setting or a nursing home. They would arrive as clients from special education school districts, and if they were accepted into the program, fast became employees. Other workshops throughout the nation term their folks as clients. We term our folks employees. And so we decided that they were going to be treated as normally as possible, and we had expectations upon them that would bespeak of a normal work setting. The work expectations are fairly simple. Be at work on time, attend to your task, take the break or take the lunch period, and come back on time from the break and lunch period, and engage in the proper social social activities as bespeaks a work setting. And we never let up on these demands. All of the supervision that we employ, I like to think, are sensitive to the special needs of special folks. And only in that way are we really different from a normal work setting.
Some examples of the work that we do would be all kinds of packaging, assembly, labeling, mailings, specialty gift wrapping, quality assurance inspection. I recall one job we did for Lord & Taylor where they put a certain application into their folding machine backwards, and we ended up refolding by hand 500,000 applications because whoever was in charge of that job there made a simple mistake, but it was incorrect. It could not be corrected by the machine.
My name is Flo Brosh. I've been working at Opportunity for about 2.5 years, with 3 years in May. My position here is job coach. The main emphasis of my job is to help the clients work better at their jobs, help devise jigs for those that require jigs on a job, and do one-to-one training when the new jobs come in when they require help. And it's just three pieces of paper together, our 3 individual packets. At times, for some of our people, because they collate wrong, we've had to set it up like this. For those that collate like this, we set up all different sorts of ways for collation. It doesn't matter how it's set up on the table, as long as the finished product is this way. Chris here, as you can see, is using a jig for counting to 10 and then cross-stacking. As Mark is seen here, he's counting 10 without a jig and cross-stacking without the use of a jig. On Butler toothbrushes, it's inserting the travel toothbrushes, inserting the toothbrush into a holder. We already have a jig made for that because the hands were not able to put them together tight enough and we were getting blisters. Here's Chris showing you how to do the Butler job by inserting the brush into the holder and squeezing down. Tri-folding jobs also come in. Some of our people have a difficult time doing that. Here's Mark using a piece of cardboard to fold it and make it tight. Chris using no cardboard and folding it. Same job, just different techniques for different people. No one supervisor works with one level here at Opportunity as they would in other sheltered shops. Each supervisor works all different levels and blends them together, the more able-bodied helping the slower folks out. Like on the binder line, the slower person puts the tabs in, the more coordinated one starts the line and finishes the line. They just really, we stress Opportunity that they help each other out and each person reaches its fullest potential by being the best worker he can be.
When I was young, went to a school in Lake Forest called Grove School, and I was there till I went to high school at Glenbrook South, and then from there I didn't really go to college. I never really went to college. I just worked at Hackney's for a couple of years in Glenview where I used to live, and then I went down to this school, or this place in Arkansas, which it's named Piney Creek Ranch, which this doctor owned in Glenview. And then after that, I had been working for Shore Training Center for a few years. And then I went out and got a job at Bell and Howell in Lincolnwood, which is now where I used to work now at a shopping mall. Then that closed down, so I got laid off. So then I started working here at Opportunity, and like I say, I've been here almost over 8 years, since December of 1983. Chicago is a city that, like New York, Los Angeles, are very diverse. It's very cosmopolitan as far as you could find every little corner of the world, in Chicago. you know, you could find something. And Chicago is also a very segregated city. It's one of the most segregated cities in the world. But there's it's a great sports town. There's a lot of enthusiasm for like the Bears, the Cubs, the Sox, and the Bulls. And it's also a fun place to go dining, you know, because there's a lot of great restaurants here. I'd rate it probably one of the best in the country, up there with New York, San Francisco, or New Orleans. And it's also a great cultural center. There are a great many museums here that you could find to do, like one of the best, of course, the Museum of Science and Industry. Then you've got the Shed Aquarium, the Field Museum, the Art Institute, the Museum of Broadcasting. You've not only got that, you've got the tallest buildings in the world. Some of them, like the Sears Tower, is the tallest. Here I am doing electrical boxes. Now these are saw tables for Hirsch. Okay, we get Canadian and American, and people use them to put, you know, the saws on and stuff like that, and plug in like that. It looks so hard, but it really isn't, because we break it down into different pieces, and everybody does something like assembling, putting cords and doing things. It's really not that hard. It looks hard, but it isn't. And we do 100% quality control, okay? So, you know, we check it here, and they do it at the factory at Hirsch, 100% quality control.
We were trying to encourage people to work to their full potential that they're able, and maybe we'll take a walk around and see what people are doing. Over here we're doing packaging of the UNESCO Christopher Columbus figurine, which is for the quincentennial, 500 years since Columbus discovered America. And what we're doing over here is, this is Wayne Paradise and Peter Eldridge. These guys are making the Peter. We're on camera. Hi. Okay. These guys are making boxes right here that they're going to be put into. Taking the boxes. Tom is taking the figurine that's coming to this box here. The fig I just showed you. It's this fig. Tom and Matthew Kenny are taking the figs, putting them inside the boxes. Let's just show us one minute. Put one in there. Okay. Gosh, 500 years. Seems like it was yesterday. Anyway, here we go. Tom's slipping it right in there. Let's show it on the camera here. There we go. We have the fig inside. And then Judith Grant and Judy Schumann are putting the ad slicks. This land is our land, right here. Putting in an ad slick and an easel. Here are our easels. Here we go. This is the easel, the Christopher Columbus easel. This land is our land. Goes inside. Please, I'm on camera here.
Oh, yeah,
This
I'm
is
sorry,
Brian
I'm
Stevens.
sorry.
This is Brian Stevens, the supervisor.
Nice
What a
meeting
guy.
you. Nice meeting you. Look at the red thing. Thank you.
Okay. Supervisor, Brian Stevens. Okay, and then we get over to the end. And this is one of our workers of the year, Tom Boland.
Yes, he is worker of the year.
Tom Boland is taping these boxes closed and skidding them. He's doing a beautiful job. What a guy. My assistant, Milena, doing a fabulous job as always. This is Ricky Dwayne Jackson over here doing the tape. Rick, say hi. Okay. Ricky, of course, is doing super work over here, taking these boxes beautiful. Good job. Milena's giving us a hand, as she always does. Okay, and Jill Wilkerson. Jill is putting the figs inside the box. So show us what you're doing. There you go. Very nice. Jill, say hi.
Hi.
Come on. Come on, say hi.
Hi.
Come on, look. Come on. Come on, look into the camera.
Hi.
All right. Okay.
This box is not going in.
And Mary Therese Ryan over here is putting in the easels and the ad slicks once again. Say hi, Mary.
Ira.
All right.
Ira. This box is fixed.
And our very own Tommy D
Ira.
is doing the Box taping and skidding.
This box needs
Say hi to America, Tom. America.
What do you say, Tom? Wheat pennies. Oh yeah, I'll show you my wheat penny.
Show him your wheat penny. What a guy.
Okay.
You have readers on you? All right. God bless him.
1952. Denver. D for Denver.
Oh, the Lee is also working on Mr. Food's apple nut bars. Can I have one of those, please? Apple nut bars? Pass me one. This is Mr. Food. Oh, it's so good. Apple nut bars. People send in for the recipe, and we take care of the rest. What a deal, huh? Okay, very nice. Very nice. They're doing great. One moment, I'll be right with you, babe. And then our very own Chris Bell over here doing an excellent job skidding the Gatorade boxes over here. Chris, say hi to America.
Hi, America.
Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful. It's just been a real pleasure working here. I love everybody, and I think we're doing a good job. All right, bye-bye.
My name's Delia Collins. I live at 965 Private Road in Monaco.
How long have you been working here, Dave?
I've been working at Opportunity for 6 years.
Yeah, you like it here?
Yes, I love it here. I help do all kinds of things at Opportunity. I do the UNESCO kits here. I do the UNESCO kits and do Allstate and Walgreens and wherever help is needed available. And in the afternoon, I help with the cleaning. And recently at the party, as you know, I received the Employee of the Year.
Wow.
And we had about like 320 people at the Christmas party.
My name is Marie Frostman, and I'm Director of Human Services at Opportunity, Inc. here in Highland Park. And it's my job to screen referrals for workers at Opportunity. And we focus on hiring people with disabilities. We like to call them handicappable. Our job is to hire handicappable adults, to give them a world of work, to build their self-esteem and their confidence. And what's really unique about the people that are employed here is that their handicaps that they may have had before they came to Opportunity, or maybe a behavior that they had at Opportunity, most likely will not occur here at Opportunity because the expectations for the workers are so high. Mary, for example, who when she worked at another agency in the city, had behavior problems such as crying and stomping away from her workplace and refusing to do certain types of work. Now Mary comes here to Opportunity, taking 2 buses and 2 trains to get here. She leaves at 5:15 in the morning, and we have a wonderful model worker who never stomps away from her work, and who is very adaptable to changing to most any job that we have here at Opportunity. Her skills are marvelous, and she really feels good about what she does at Opportunity. We also have another young lady by the name of Teresa, who was at a sheltered workshop north of here, who had attendance problems. And when you asked her about that in the interview process of why she had those attendance problems at that workshop, she would tell you that she wasn't happy with that workshop, that there were people that were having behavior problems, that they were acting out, that there were people throwing things, people swearing, people shouting, and she just didn't feel good about herself when she saw those other things happening. So she wanted to make a change, and she was referred here to Opportunity. Now she's here every day. She works in our medical room where she does sub-assemblies for blood bags, and is making very good money and is able to support herself living in an apartment on her own. Then we have Chris, who came to us as a referral from a psychosocial day program, who had never had the experience of work because he had schizophrenia. All through high school had major behavior problems with violence and talking back, etc. They removed a tumor from his front lobe of his brain, and the diagnosis was organic schizophrenia. He's now here at Opportunity, starting out very slowly, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, only 4 hours a day, has worked up now to Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, and will move on to next week 7 hours a day.
What do you like to do a lot?
Lift weights.
Lift weights? You want to say something about that? How is that? Does that change your life at all?
Oh yeah, that's improved my self-esteem too. I found that I'm pretty good at doing that.
You were in a magazine article, correct?
Yeah, and I'm going to be in Muscle and Fitness in June.
Are you?
Yeah, first magazine is called Herbs. The magazine I'm going to be in June is called Muscle and Fitness.
How often do you work out?
Aerobics or weightlifting?
Well, either one. Tell us about your schedule.
Oh, aerobics I do 6 days a week, and the weightlifting 4 days a week.
We employ job coaches. The job coaches will sit with individuals to try to capitalize upon their potentials and to increase their working skills so that their paychecks are more meaningful time after time. When I would appear before some foundations in an interview, they would ask me, what kind of training does your supervision have? What type of degrees are necessary to work at your place? And my indication in those early years were, well, really none. You see, all of my folks who are in the managerial positions, including the supervisors, the plant manager, the warehouse manager, the people who ride the forklift trucks, they're all grandparents. Every one of them is a grandparent. And I learned over the years that what the grandparent brings in the way of love and appreciation for individual needs simply cannot be learned in a college or a university setting. My druthers, instead of hiring a person fresh out of college with a BA degree or a master's degree in social service, was rather to have a grandfather or a grandmother who has 5 to 10 grandchildren. These are the folks who I want. These are the ones who will love my children. And I've had pretty good success with that. Tell us about your dad. Your dad is semi-retired. He's a what?
He's an adolescent psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. He's a doctor, for heaven's sakes. And then there's Bob.
Right.
That's you. Tell us about yourself. You're, and just look into the TV deal there. You're,
Well,
how old are you, first of all?
41.
41 years old. Is that old?
Uh-huh.
Are you going to retire soon or what?
No, I'm afraid not. I'm not ready to do that just yet.
How many more years do you think it'll be before you can retire?
I don't really know.
You're 41 now. Let's say you're 40. How many more years do you expect to work?
2, 3 more years.
2 or 3 more years, yeah. And then you would retire. And I think our audience here would be interested to know, do you expect to spend the rest of your time here at Opportunity before you retire, or is your job?
No. I would have to move on to some other job or someplace. You know, almost. I guess not like this, but you know, people, things change. People move on. They sort of come and go and everything.
You know, you've been working here how long? You began here in '84, and this is what, 92? That's got to be what?
It's gonna be 20 years or
20 years at least, yeah. Opportunity Inc. here in Highland Park, in those early days, made the conscious decision to prove to the community that the handicapped citizen, in fact, could work, has potential to do work, to earn a paycheck, and eventually become self-sufficient in the organization.
And I think the thing about working here is you feel like you're more in a more normal work environment here. You don't feel like you're in, which you're not, in a sheltered workshop, okay? You don't have the idea of people, you know, doing, you know, all this job training. It's more like a regular work environment, at least I think.
I had a secretarial position open, and this woman came in and sat down and asked me about the job description, and at the end of the interview she said, now about those people out there, would I ever have to have any contact with them? And I said, I don't understand what you mean. Well, will I have to touch them or talk to them? And I said, probably not, because in the office, they'll just be you and I and maybe another clerk. And from time to time, a person might come in for a time card or something. But I suspect that, I suspect that the only time you may come in contact with them is on your birthday. Because unbeknownst to you, they will have gotten a cake together in the lunchroom and maybe some presents, and they'll call you in under a different guise and give you a surprise happy birthday, and maybe one or two of them may come up to you and hug you. Beyond that, I wouldn't think that you'd have contact with them.
I can't begin to tell you, I can't equate it to anything other than to say that I don't want to do anything else. This is it for me. This is a great place, and I love to be involved here.
Say goodbye, Mary.
Bye.